Gentlemen with me. It's very hard to get gentlemen on the show, but tonight I have my panelists are both gentlemen, and it's exciting. It's very, very exciting. Karibuni sana. If it's your very first time to be in the show, karibu sana, feel at home, enjoy. And I can promise you in this show, while you're logging in, if you're alone, not in public, you don't need a mask. Just relax, enjoy yourself, and stay sanitized. If it is not your first time, I want you to just show the people who are coming in for the first time how we do it here at Candid Conversation. Kindly type on the chat and tell us how you're coping with the weather. The weather has changed. It's been different. July decided to visit September, and what 3 days we have been enjoying. Tell us how you're coping. Also, kindly remember to tell us your name, introduce yourself to us, tell us where you're tuning in from, and we are in for an awesome treat. Asanteni sana for the support. I want first and foremost thank those who have been tuning in to the show Candid Conversation for the past episodes, and tonight you're here. I want to say asante sana. I also want to give a great shout out and many thanks to those who have been giving us feedback. You have kept us going when you have told us, guys, you're doing a good job, or you have given us a constructive criticism, do this, do that. I want to say thank you to those of you who have even given us their advice. I remember last week someone said, can we get MOH on board? Can we get KEBS guys? Keep those coming, because you are telling us what to do, and you're helping us build the show so that every Wednesday 7 to 8:30 we'll be right here giving you an awesome treat. I want to say asante to my team at Outburst. They have been amazing. Thank you guys for doing it yet again, and we are saying thank you so much. So tonight, kindly, ladies and gentlemen, type on the chat. Tell us. I want us to do it like we do every Wednesday night. Spread some positivity. Tell us where you're tuning in from, and then what are you grateful about? Tell us what you're grateful about. Tell us how you're coping with the weather. I am ready to read your shout outs. If you also see a familiar face or name, you can send your greetings to them, because they are here tonight. You probably haven't seen them in a while. Kindly, let's do that. I'm waiting for you. I am seeing some familiar names. Dr. Geoffrey Mutuma, thank you for tuning in tonight. You did an amazing, fantastic job last week. I've been getting so much requests, and guys are saying what a show it was. They want you back. We will try. Last week, guys, you promised that you will bring a friend. Okay, you'll bring a friend to the show. I hope that you have kept your promise. I hope you've kept your promise. So let me see. I'll see by the kind of people that we'll have tonight on the show. Okay. So asanteni sana for tuning in. My name is Mwangi Chege from Outburst Limited. I will be your host, your MC. And I'm grateful to be here to hosting tonight's show. Thank you so much, James Mbogwa, for tuning in. Nyox, karibu sana. Faith, I can see you right there. Meg, thank you so much for tuning in. Derito, Gitao, Sharon, Priska, Joyce, Grace G. Asante sana, all of you, for just taking time. I know, it's a sacrifice, but thank you. Virginia Kamere, I can see you. Mr. Sam, thank you so much for tuning in. Nancy, asante sana, you're a star. Warosho, you are an awesome star. Keep tuning in. Samuel Boro, my good friend, asante for tuning in. Oliver, I can see you right there. Oliver, thank you so much. You're amazing. Anthony, you are a star. Guys, whatever gadget you're using, kindly put either your initials or one of your names so that I can mention it. AJ, I can see you. Mercy, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. My big sister Wagoi Nyoike, Nakuona, Asante. You guys are all out to have a treat tonight. I'm hosting two gentlemen. One of my amazing friends has been a caregiver. He will tell us his story. You know, he'll tell us his story and the journey. That's why tonight's show, we are calling it Beyond Diagnosis. What happens? What happens when the doctor breaks that news? What happens? We'll see how it goes. And then we will have another gentleman coming after that, and he'll be tackling the issues that the person will have said, okay? And we'll see how it goes. I also want to request you guys at home, kindly put your phone on mute. Video, if you're not comfortable, put your video off. It's fine. But kindly, all of us, just put your phones on mute. Oliver, you're saying love the energy because of you. That's why the energy is massive right here, because of you tuning in. Cubs Radio, you're saying Haparwaka, massive hello. Wanyoike, Wagoi Wanyoike umesalimiwa na Cubs Radio huko. Michelle tuning in, unasema Islando sweater 30 and 10. Nakuambia, weather has done you good. Patrick tuning in from Mudangari, it's very cold and chilly. Pole, ongeza sweater. Faith, you're saying, I'm glad to be back and I'm grateful for the gift of life, and I have been practicing to be grateful and thankful all the time. Thank you, Faith. Remember, and I repeat again, those things that we learn here at Candid Conversation, let them not end here. Tell a friend yourself. Nancy, tuning in from Utawala. Chai inatoa baridi. Tea, it's about tea time, I'm telling you. If you want to toa baridi kabisa, jaribu supu. Next time, Nancy. Next Wednesday, kunywa supu. Francis, uko hapa locked na iPhone, I can see you. Faith is saying, Mwangichege and Outbusting, you're doing a good job and making a difference. I want to say asante sana. Kisumu Pacho. Kisumu is warm, grateful. Huyo ni Regina Gitao, yuko Kisumu. Lucy tuned in from Tena Estate. You're feeling warm. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that why we do what we do here at Outbus, this is our CSR program, DAB Boot Cancer Challenge. You change with the times, and as we change with the times, we went digital. We have gone digital. We are hosting this to remember this is Candid Conversation, and we are doing this because we want to enlighten minds, inspire people, and enrich lives. As we do the Candid Conversation this season, this is Candid Conversation Season 1, and this season we are giving back, and what we'll be doing is that everything we do in all the 10 episodes, we will be giving, and we will be supporting the Gio Hospice. Okay, it's in Limuru, and so we will be sharing with you the pay bill number that goes to Outburst, but all the contributions that all the guys tuning in are making will be going to the Gio Hospice to support those who are battling with cancer, and we are praying for them every day, and we know that it's gonna be good with them, and it's gonna be great with us also. There's nothing better than the power of giving. Our till number 750-822. Our till number is up there. I can tell you watu wamejifundisha mpaka kushare screen. This is new, but we are there showing off. And so the till number is 750-822. Kindly feel free to donate. Feel like a philanthropist by whatever you're giving. Just feel like a philanthropist, that wewe na Bill Gates are the same, all right? Whether you're giving 200, 10 bob, or 2,000 or 20,000, just feel like Bill Gates. And I can promise you, when you're giving, you will feel better, you will be greater, and it shall be well with you. James Mbogwa tuned in from Kiabu, loving the show. It is my first time. Karibu sana, James. You will get a treat. Rachel is tuned in from Embu, all the way from Embu. Asante sana. And from Mogoga, very cold for the past days. Outburst doing a great job. We say Asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Like I promised, every Wednesday, this night, you're giving yourself a treat. Last week, let me do a recap. Last week, we had two amazing doctors. I can see one of them is logged in, Dr. Geoffrey from Zambezi Hospital. He's the MD, and I can promise he did an awesome, fantastic job. Awesome, fantastic jobs. Just telling us the myths and misconception about cancer. And you know, minds were changed, lives were transformed, many questions answered, and I want to say a big thank you to Daktari. We also had Dr. Mary, who is a nutritionist, 3-time survivor, cancer survivor, 3 times, my guy, 1, 2, 3, maratatu, and she's still there, going strong, and she inspired all of us, encouraged all of us, and she also taught us what to eat, how to eat it, and we had a blast. Watu wale walikuwa disappointed ni the people who enjoy ngumu and Coca-Cola. They felt bad after the show, and they changed their diet, right? And instead of taking a Coke, me, I've changed my diet. Once in a while, a week, I try to take yogurt because I was taught that it is good for me, all right? And I'm moving from the flavored one to less sugar, and let's just eat right, do our workouts, you know, fanya tizi kidogo. We are saying that you also go for screening, and let's all live healthy and better lives. Are you ready, guys? If you're ready for the treat tonight, type the word ready, Apple. Type the word ready, and I will be ready for you. But I need to see that all of you are ready. I need to see that all of you are ready. I can see Nancy, you're ready. Oliver, uko tayari? Purity, ready. I need to see who is ready so that I can invite our first panelist to just share with us his story. I believe that it will enlighten minds, it will encourage someone, it will inspire you. Fadili, you're ready. I can see that. Edwin, you're ready. Anthony, Priska, you're ready. Josephine, ready. All right. I am also ready to have a good time tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say you put your hands together, those who are on video, you do like this, because I don't want us to clap so hard. And so when you are ready, tuned in from Kisumu Pacho, Faith, Karibu Sana. Teresia, you're ready. Oliver is telling me your shirt is also ready. All right, you shirty man, and I'm telling you, I'll tell you who has dressed me immediately after the show. I'll remember to give them, you know, the compliment. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to put our hands together. I want to invite a gentleman who has been a caregiver. He'll tell us for how long and what he has been up to. I want him to share with us his life story. You know, many at times we hear the story of either cancer warriors or cancer survivors. Sometimes we forget that the people who actually take the beating sometimes, because I've been there, done that, are the people we call the caregivers. And so we want to hear his story. The other thing about this gentleman, he's one of the few who has decided, yes, I'll come out and share. It's very difficult to get a man to speak, I can promise you, especially a man who has gone challenging times. And so I want to just say thank you for accepting our invitation and taking time to be here tonight for the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for none other than Patrick Bogwa. I can see him smiling. All right, so Patrick, kindly share with us your story. Karibu sana, Patrick.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mwangi. And good evening, all my friends and all our friends who are tuned in. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Mr. Mwangi, to give me this opportunity to share my experience with people, and with actually, in fact, I would say with the whole country, because it was not an easy task. And I would like to actually encourage men. That's why I actually accepted to come in, so that I am able to encourage people who could be going through this, what I went through, and especially men, and tell them that there's always, there's always always be ready, for anything, because these things most of the time they come when you're not ready, and it's not something that you really expect. And I think I'll start with my journey actually began when my wife Magdalene was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. That was in October 2016. And it came in as a shocker. As I said, we were not ready. Just like the way the thief comes at night and takes what is good for you, and you're not prepared. So, and it was quite a challenge, actually. And what we decided to do, as I knew there was much expected of me, and so we actually went to the doctor together, and asked the doctor, what do we need to do? And since that day, the doctor told us what we needed to do, our journey actually began. And it was a long journey, and it's a journey full of many challenges, a journey that ended with a success. And that's why we can see I'm smiling. And actually, my wife is also tuned in here. And she told me actually she'll be very, very ready to, very, very happy to hear the story, because I've never actually told it to anybody. Like, I've only maybe mentioned to people, but she would also want to hear, as you're all hearing it for the first time, including her. And so what happened when actually she was diagnosed, it happened that her cancer actually was at stage 3, and it was what is called the HER2 positive. By the HER2 positive, it means it's a more aggressive kind of cancer, which is has a chance of recurring, and a bit easy, like easier to treat, but more aggressive, and it needed also aggressive kind of treatment. And at the same time, it also needed additional treatment from the normal HR2 receptive, the receptor negative type of breast cancer. So that came also as a shocker. And actually it happens to worldwide. Actually, that kind of breast cancer happens to 20% of the of women, and also men also get breast cancer. 20% of the people who get breast cancer. And so we got ready, and we decided naturally we have to. What I decided to do is to encourage my wife, and tell them actually, give her the hope she needed. And I also now was able to identify what kind of help did she require from me, and also to from my other friends, from my relatives, from family. And I came up with actually there were like 6 kind of support that she really needed from me particularly. And one of them was the psychological help. She also needed spiritual help. She needed nutritional help. She needed care and treatment support. And there was the financial help, bit of it. And also I had to take over some of the duties that we were doing together. I became now the person who was to take over. And we sat and agreed actually what are we going to treatment and which hospital do we need to have our treatment done, depending on the resources that were at our disposal and the convenience. And as usual, if actually we got suggestions from Olva, which was actually in very, very good faith. We got so many suggestions like, no, we should take her to India. It's better there. They have better doctors. They have better facilities. They have better equipment. Others would tell you, oh, no, do it here in the country. No, go if you know somebody in Kenyatta, go to Kenyatta. There's a queue, but if you know somebody, you'll be able to be helped. Also got suggestion that we should use herbal medicine. So all that, and so we had to decide, and actually we decided actually we'll have our treatment from where we started at Aga Khan. And all the specialists we had to see, because we had to see a breast specialist, we had to see an oncologist, we had the pathology bit, like to do the blood test and all that. We had to the cardiologist. So we decided actually we're going to do everything at Aga Khan. And actually the journey started there. So actually the psychology bit was quite challenging. I came to realize that in midway that apart from the Magdalene getting needing the psychological support that I had to give as I expected, I realized that there was so much more, and it became very challenging for me because I realized that my children also needed my support psychologically. Her friends who came to visit, some of them would come and cry when they see how she was. Other or when they had this cancer, they thought this is now a death sentence, and people would cry. Other family members were also emotionally affected, and I also personally actually had to deal with my own emotional actually. I was also challenged. I was also affected emotionally, but I had to put in a brave face because I was the one everybody was looking at. So I had to be strong. And actually being strong was like the only option I had. And I had to take it head on. And so we encouraged them, and we actually made sure that we only wanted positive talk. Anybody who would come, actually, we really discourage anybody who would come with negative talk, like somebody who had cancer, he died or she died. We actually like shut her off from all that kind of negative talk and encouraged the positive one. In fact, the experience once she had, one of her very close friends from high school had died a few days before, a few years before 2016. And so it was quite a challenge. So the other support she needed from me was the spiritual help. And this was very, very important because I would actually attribute to her recovery and the journey we went through to the grace of God. And so I had to plan. I had to be the priest in the house. We prayed together as a family. We prayed together as friends. We prayed together as colleagues. In fact, her colleagues, the Loreto sisters, prayed for her. My mother prayed for my family, the whole family. We actually prayed, and we thank God that our prayers were actually answered, and all went very well. And the other thing we talked about, I had said, was the nutrition support. Being a cancer sufferer and actually somebody who was undergoing chemotherapy, we had to make sure that her diet was perfect. And it was we had to make sure that she had all the nutrients she required to fight the disease and to cater for the chemo, because the chemo normally is very, very aggressive. So I had to make sure that she had the proper diet. Had to make sure that she had the proper juices to do. She was taking enough water and lot of water, in fact, because that was very, very necessary. I also made sure that we actually changed the diet. Most of the things that she had a sweet tooth, and it was very, very hard for me to make sure that was removed from her diet, because cancer cells mostly would feed on sugar and do very, very well with sugar and fats and all that. So we had to make sure that I kept her off. I actually made sure that I kept her off that kind of diet, the junk food and all that, and insisted on healthy living, healthy food, healthy eating. The other thing I talked about, there was now the bit of the care and treatment support, which was now also a big challenge for me, because actually a patient, not only a cancer patient, but any person actually suffering maybe a chronic disease or any serious disease actually requires a lot of care, because we were only seeing the doctor, we were only with the doctor a few hours, maybe in a week or in 2 weeks, only a few hours, and the nurses. So the rest of the care actually is left for home. And I had to take that, that I had to take it up. And because one thing she needed, going through chemotherapy, the chemotherapy actually targets the cancer cells. And in the process of targeting the cancer cells, it also affects the other healthy cells, including the white blood cells. So the immunity becomes very, very compromised. So one thing we had to do is to make sure that hygiene was at top notch. Like the hygiene was kept at the top, and also to make sure that social distance was maintained at all times, to make sure that the food was prepared in a good way. It was in a very, very healthy and clean environment, and generally to make sure that nothing actually really would compromise her, her health. So that was a very, very, very big challenge. Then with the chemo going on, there was the bit of, apart from the chemo, there was medication. So I had to take it up to make sure that she adhered to the drug, the dosage, that the adherence was top notch. Because you see, what happens when somebody is sick, sometimes you forget to take your medicine. You forget, or sometimes you don't take the medicine on time. There's medicine that you're supposed to take before meals or after meals. Maybe you don't do that. So I took it upon myself to make sure that I observe, I practice what they call the direct observation therapy. It's like you take the medicine yourself, and make sure that she's actually having her medicine in good time, the correct dosage, without any misses. And at the same time, we're still undergoing chemotherapy. There are some injections, white blood cell boosters, which I had to administer myself. Imagine I'm never really trained as a nurse, but I had to do the injections, and you actually inject in the stomach area. That's an injection we had to do every day, actually, for 4 doses for 4 days. And I was lucky, actually. My daughter was there to help me, but I had to make sure that it was my responsibility to make sure that this is done and in a hygienic way, and properly. Actually, it used to be like a cycle. Immediately after chemo, she's very weak, and it was a cycle, and which used to that used to like go around. The first few days she's okay. The next 1 week she's completely down. Then the other week she's fine. And what the other thing we have to do is to make sure that she kept fit, that she was able to exercise. So I had to take upon myself to make sure I accompany her for a walk every evening, or sometimes in the morning. Make sure that she's actually not just staying indoors. She's taking a walk. I mean, oxygen was also very, very critical for she needed a lot of oxygen because of cell degeneration, and I had to make sure that happened. And and in fact, I was doing all this despite that I was working, and this is something that took a very, very long time. The chemo took like actually the chemo it took 5 months, and actually I was doing all this at the same time I was working. And there was at some stage surgery was involved, and after surgery you see the drain bag that is always like to help drain the fluids from the body, the parts involved. And it was also upon me to make sure that that drain game, I had to make sure that as I sleep, I'm on the lookout so that it doesn't come off. I had also to like make sure in the morning, every morning I have to drain it, take check the quantities and the codes so that we are able to report to the doctor. So the other thing I had to do actually still on care and treatment was like every time, because before chemotherapy, she had to take some, to have some blood tests done. So I had to take it upon myself. I go for the tests first. I have to study them. Then I see where I'm not happy with and record somewhere so that when we go to the doctor, we go with the doctor with the questions that we need to ask, like, what is this? Why is this going down? Why is the HB going down? And what do we need to do? Because what happens, when you have when you're taking for care for the patient, the patient may not be able to, and she has maybe, or he or she has only 30 minutes with the doctor or less. Sometimes some things actually escape. So I had to make sure I accompany her to the hospital, ask the doctor the questions and what we need to do. Because maybe once or twice when I missed, you'd ask, oh, did you ask about the white blood cell? Oh, sorry, I forgot. You see, and so you have to wait until maybe the next visit, and because it's always hard maybe to get the doctor on phone and all that. So I would say it was quite challenging, but we made it. I was very lucky. My employer was very, very understanding, and I got time, time off work without actually even. I had a super employer. She also had a very, very super employer who actually allowed her to report on duty when she's able to. When she was not able to, they were very, very understanding. So the other issue, sorry, I'm sorry, I think I'm taking time, but
no, go ahead.
yes, okay. So now the other big elephant in the room was the financial bit. That was a very, very big elephant, because chemotherapy, treating cancer in Kenya, not only in Kenya, actually worldwide, is a very, very, it's very, very, very expensive. Because I remember every 3 weeks for chemo, you spend 100,000 per every 3 weeks. And actually, as I said earlier, cancer was the most aggressive one. So the doctor had told us, apart from the chemo, which was 6 cycles, we had to, she had to have another therapy, an additional kind of a chemo called a drug called Herceptin. And the doctor told us, uh, and this drug is a bit expensive, right? Okay, then we didn't bother. But now when the time came and we had now to have it done, that's when the shocker came, because this a bit expensive turned to be very expensive, because we were told she needed 18 sessions of the accepting drug, and each dose was 250,000. So we are talking of, she needed within the 18 sessions, she actually, we needed 4.5 million to have that done. Wow, that was quite shocking for us, because of course we were not ready. Fortunately, we had insurance, and we had the NHIF also helped us so much. And this drug, unfortunately, did not have a generic because of the patent in the US. So, but we were able to get a biosimilar, which now was able to reduce the cost from the 250,000 to 150 for every 3 weeks, which was not, that was quite an amount. And as you know, actually, the insurance that would not pay for everything. And also their outpatient, we had already exhausted the outpatient. And again, the cancer, when the insurance actually normally would limit you, if at all, on the second year after you are diagnosed with cancer. On the second year, now it becomes a pre-existing pre-existing condition, chronic condition. So the limit is actually reduced. So it was quite challenging, but we managed, and were able to go through it. Finally, the other thing I wanted to mention about is that because of all this, what was happening, I had to take over the duties that she was doing, because now she was not in a position to do the duties she was doing. That included going to the market. I used to go to the market. I was always at Kangemi market every weekend. I buy all the things we need, insisting on maybe organic products. I had to take over. Sometimes I had to cook myself. And because we didn't have a living house help, it was quite challenging. I had to do most of the tasks at home, of course, with the help of the children. The children, actually, my children were in school then. We didn't have most children, but they were actually in school. My son was in high school. My daughter was at the university. So I had to take off. I had to, like, academic days, everything had to continue. School had to continue, academic day. So, and even other things that we used to do together, I found myself doing it myself. And so I would think it was challenging. And I was doing all this when I was still actually expected to work and doing all that. And it was quite, I would say it was quite challenging. But I thank God that. I thank God that.
You thank God. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thank God that all went well. And also, the other duties, like, for example, I had to train, we at some stage, we had a house help who came in, and she happened to be young and green, so I had to train her. I had to show her how to make porridge, how to make ugari, how to make, how to juice and all that, but it all went well. But the other...
Patrick, yours sounds like a story of, for better, for worse kind of story. So the kind of worst hit in. But I like that you're here, you're smiling. even as you narrate your story, you're smiling. I can't imagine, you probably, I don't know if you used to cook before, but you found yourself going to the market, cooking, and all these things. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
I need you to key in your questions. What would you like for Patrick to answer you? What you probably he has not clarified, but you'd want clarity. Kindly type in your question. And I also want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you invited someone and they missed this show tonight, they can still get it on our YouTube channel, Outburst Limited. They just click in Outburst Limited. You will find this show and the past episodes, all right? But let me come back to Patrick. Patrick,
Yes.
what kept you awake at night? What kept you awake at night after the doctor has told you all these things? What kept you awake at night?
Yeah, so otherwise, yeah, I would say it was challenging. It was challenging. It was very, very challenging. And I would say actually it was the God's grace that really kept me going. And in fact, to me, I actually came to remember, there's the covenant, like when you get married, marriage is a covenant, actually. It's not a contract, where you say, oh, should this and this happen, this is the exit clause. The exit clause in a marriage is till death do us part. It was like for better, for worse, for sickness, for health, for poor and for rich. So in this case, it was in sickness. So I had to, that contract actually kept me going. And I would say, like, I wouldn't tell where that energy came from, but we managed, yeah.
Patrick, many people have are stigmatized. I know of many people who, whether they're sick or it's them who have been diagnosed by the disease, or it's a family member. One of the things we have to deal with is stigma. You're wondering, should people know or they shouldn't? Should I or should I not tell them? And then if you get to that point of, okay, now either it's you who has told them, or it's your wife who has told them, or it's your neighbors who have told them, but all of a sudden people know. How did you deal with that?
Yes, so it was quite serious, because actually, according to most of the people, actually believe that when you get cancer, it's not curable. That's what people thought, and people thought, oh, sorry, death has visited you, and it was quite a challenge. People, like everywhere you went, you see people would look at you. Oh, this her wife is now sick and all that. But what I had to do is, like, I had to overcome all that, and I had to talk to people and tell them, how curable cancer is. Cancer, anybody can get cancer, and it has a cure, and we need to take care of the people who have cancer. We have to talk to them and all that. So, but I would say, yes, it happened. We were stigmatized. I mean, there was that stigma, but at least by the grace of God, we were able to overcome it.
And here you are smiling tonight. Now, Faith says that, wow, Patrick, very true. For better, for worse, keep the fire burning, and please keep talking, especially to men or in men's forum. So next year, Patrick, tafadhali, make sure that you go to the men's conference and tell them your story. Anne is saying, Patrick, that is an awesome. Surely, for better, for worse, you're an amazing gentleman. Be blessed. Lucy adds on and says, wow, you are great. What were your greatest fears? Patrick, what was your greatest fear? This is asking.
Yeah, so my greatest, actually, that's a very good question, because my greatest fear, because like the first day we were told about, she has cancer, and it's it's HER2 positive and all that. And actually, my fear was I thought death had visited. And that was the thing I feared most. But somehow, going forward and after we talked to people, and in fact, I thought even my employer had even offered some counselor, had already paid for a counselor. Fortunately, I didn't use the counselor. I managed to go through without counselor. But that is actually what mind. Oh, it looks like God, death has
Mm.
visited us.
So,
Why us?
so Patrick,
Why
was your
me?
greatest fear? Was that your greatest
Yes,
fear? Yes. Awesome.
that was the greatest fear I had because that was the greatest fear I had because actually by then, by the 2016, actually we were celebrating our 19 years together, having had children. That was our 19th year in marriage. And now when our children, okay, wondering what will I do alone, and as you see, like when she was down, you see, it became, it was quite something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dapu Mwangi says, Patrick, you are amazing. I love your spirit. May God bless you and your family. 19 or 20. How many years now in marriage,
And
Patrick?
now it's
How many
25 years now.
25. So what
25.
was the duration of time? How many years, since your wife was diagnosed?
Up to
19
today?
now?
Up to
How
today
many?
now that, yeah, it's now years.
About 4 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. Regina says, congratulations, Brother Patrick. You are now an ambassador of caregiving. Okay. And then Fadili says that marriage is a covenant for better, for worse, and not a contract. Patrick, you are amazing. Josephine is saying, Patrick, you are really an understanding man. Yani, hey, unatupatia competition tonight, Patrick, because I can't remember the last time I cooked. Okay. There's someone with a nice phone there. Thank you for being there for your wife. You are a courageous man. God bless you. I think some men would have taken off. Faith is saying that God bless you, Patrick, for keeping your vows. Patrick, I want to ask you 2 questions. No, I'll make them 3. Grace is asking, and I need you to, I'll ask you 3 questions and then make the answers sweet and short because of time. All right. So Grace is asking, great. How did the doctors break the news to you? That is question number 1.
Yeah.
Question number 2. All right. Someone is asking, what exactly did NHIF cover, and how did you go about it? All right. And then question number 3, I wanted to tackle those 2 so that I'll wrap it up with next question.
Okay, good. I'll start with the first one, and I'll answer I'll try to as brief as possible, because what happened actually, for the doctor to confirm that it was actually cancer and what stage it was, there are a few things that the doctor had to do. And actually, when now he told us yes, it's actually cancer. But actually, he managed to tell us no, and it's actually treatable. So you should not worry. It's cancer and it's treatable. The results have come out that it's cancer and it's treatable.
Okay.
But the biggest worry was, he told us, now I'll send you for a scan so that we are able to know at what stage it is. By that, we were kept in kind of suspense, because you don't know whether you'll be told it's stage 1 or it's stage 2. But he said, and it's not stage 1. So we knew it will be stage 2 and above.
Yeah.
So now, so we didn't know. As we waited for the scan results to come out, that took like a day or a day or 2 days. what was in our mind is that we don't know whether we will be told, oh, sorry, she has only 1 week to leave. Oh, sorry, she has only 3 days to leave, or fine, or it's stage 2 and all that. So that was actually how the news was broken to us, but we were able to take it. So the NHIF cover, that's another very good question. I would say actually we were so lucky that it's by God's grace that every time we applied to the NHIF, that time what used to happen, you had to go to the doctor, he fills the NHIF claim pre-approval form, then you take it to the NHIF office yourself. Things have changed now, like you leave it at the hospital and it's done. So the NHIF actually was able to pay a lot, part of the bill, not all of the, not so much of it, but at least they were able to pay for us of the total amount. I would think they paid 600, about 600,000, above 600,000. The total amount, but you see, we are talking of 600,000 of 3 million shillings.
Yeah.
So, in fact, over 4 million. So, but which was quite good. I remember one time we applied for the Herceptin dose, and when he had applied for some sessions, actually we had applied for 1.5 million, but they only have approved 200,000. So you can imagine how it was. But it really helped. I would say the NHIF, it's good. It actually really helped. Yes.
Awesome. Patrick, I have I don't know. My wall is going crazy. My phone is going wild with many questions to you. But Masolia says that, wow, I guess I need Patrick to talk to my dad. My mom was last week diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 4. And we are still at the early stages of learning this. So Patrick, you have some work to do. Sorry for setting yourself up. Thank you, Patrick. Stella says, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently? Is there something that you would have done differently?
Wow.
Patrick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, about your mom, Masiola. Sorry about your mom, but actually she'll be fine, because cancer it's actually treatable. It doesn't matter what stage it's at, as long as you are it actually treatment is started immediately, because the more you wait, actually the more it progresses. So that is treatable. So don't worry, there's treatment, and it will your mom will be fine. So you should not worry. Start the treatment. Don't waste any more time. Actually, start the treatment immediately, and your mom will actually will be saved. Yes, about something I would have done differently. I think one thing is I would say maybe during the initial time we went overboard. Like, for example, we cut short, like we were insisting on she has to eat boiled food, she has to, she has to be off meat all the time, like only be a vegetarian and all that. So, yeah. So, and actually we kept Googling, and actually, I wouldn't 100% able to do things differently, because Google was telling us, no, don't eat this, don't eat that. And at the same time, you see, during chemo, she needed like to eat red meat so that the cells can regenerate. But we kept her off that. And I would say, okay, so I will not really trust Google 100%, but maybe listen to the doctor more than I would trust Google.
Awesome.
The other thing is actually, sorry, okay,
yes,
then, yes.
Okay, tell us one more thing that you'll do differently.
Right, so the other thing maybe I'll do, for example, if I knew maybe there are a few things that people can do to prevent cancer happening. For example, the way we even live, the way we warm our food using plastic. Then the other thing I would have actually encouraged her to go for screening area, maybe because this should have been realized, even area. And that may something I would have done before. I would have actually encouraged her to go for screening. And even now, I would encourage maybe all our listeners, all those who are tuned in, and anybody who would be listening to this, to make sure at least they go for testing. Even if you are feeling well and everything, go for screening. It's very, very good. It's very, very important that if you have any problem, it's actually diagnosed early enough.
Awesome. Yes. Patrick, you have fans tonight who are watching you give the story. Sometimes maybe you have said something that I wondered, we went through that, we didn't know. Nelly, you probably know Nelly. Nelly is saying, I must commend you, Uncle Paddy. Uncle Paddy, for graciously taking up the role of primary caregiver for my Aunt Meg. You stood by her through it all, putting her needs first, and now she's back to her normal self. Forever grateful. Thank you always. That's from Nelly. All right, that's good. From Nelly. Nelly, asante sana for that. Rachel is telling you, Patrick, you are 1 in a million. God bless you abundantly. Wendy is out there saying, thank you, Patrick, for the information. God bless you for taking care of your wife. All right. So awesome. Stella is saying, thank you, Patrick. Looking back, we have done that. And so I want to say asante sana, Patrick, for taking time to speak to us tonight. But before you go, there are two things that I need clarification. Yes. Okay. Because right here at Candid Conversation, we are here to enlighten minds, inspire people, and enrich lives. There's a part you said your employer was so great, they gave you time out, they supported you, and then you mentioned, Patrick, that you know what, your employer had actually even gone all out to pay counseling for you, but you did not use those services. Why?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So thank you. Actually, as I would say, and there's also something you didn't add. Actually, the insurance that we were using was my employers and also my wife's employer. So we were using that. The amount was quite a lot. So we had to use both insurances and NHIF. And maybe I would say why I didn't use the services of the counselor. One thing maybe because you see, as men, we fear the unknown. We are going to the doctor. We are going to the counselors. Yeah. So, and again, actually, I also didn't have time. Actually, immediately we started this journey, my life stopped. I never used to do the things that you used to do. It was work, home, market, hospital. Yeah. My life was gone. Yeah. So I didn't have a life. So even time was an issue. But actually, and again, maybe I think I assumed like I was okay, which actually is something that people should not do, because by assuming I was okay, I know, other things took the toll of me. My wife was telling me I had lost weight. A weight that I didn't actually have, I'm not a very...
All right.
So it's something...
So is it something that you would encourage people to do? Maybe if you had a chance, you would go for counseling. Is it something that you would encourage guys to actually do?
Yes, I would actually encourage people to do that. Not only the caregiver, but also maybe the children, family members, or the close, or even close friends, because they were also affected. Awesome. So it's something I would discourage. Go to a counselor so that you get help. Don't be like me, a strong man, like you say, oh, I'm strong, I don't need a counselor. But yeah, and it takes a toll on you. So I would encourage people to seek help.
Awesome, Patrick. I think you have answered SK. SK had asked, did you feel disoriented and uncertain about how to respond to your wife when communicating? I think you have answered a bit of that, but I'll need you to talk to us later, maybe about communication and how did you break news to your children, because you have mentioned. Because of time, I want you to think about those as I invite our next speaker. But before I let you go, Paul is saying, Patrick, you are a great man, learned a lot from you. Josephine is saying, now we understand what better for worse really means. You are really a great man. Let me see. And someone is saying here, thank you, Patrick. May God bless you and your family. Asante sana, Patrick, for sharing the story with us here at Candid Conversation. Kindly don't go away. I will need you later to just do your parting shot. But I want to remind all of us that you can kindly follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We are all there. If you need our contacts, they are right there on the screen. You are at the Candid Conversation, where we enlighten minds, inspire people, and enrich lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe you're having an awesome time tonight. If you're having a blast, kindly type blast right there so that I can see that you are awake, you're still enthusiastic. Kindly type so that I can see that you're there, you're following. Type the word blast for us. I want to remind you that as we are doing this, we are also supporting hospice in this season. The Gio Hospice is in our heart. We had made a commitment that we will support them, whether during COVID season or not. We want to take the stand like Patrick, for better, for worse. We had made a commitment that this year in our CSR, we will support the GIO. I want you to kindly remember to support us. Our pay bill number is right there on the screen. The number is 750822. 750822. Kindly send whatever you have. Feel like a philanthropist. You and Jack Ma, munapelekana hivi. Whether you're giving 200, 2,000, 20,000, 200,000, it really doesn't matter. Even 20 bob is acceptable. Wewe na Bill Gates, you are like this. You're like this. Okay. Nashipa is saying thanks to Patrick for this demystifying cancer. Okay, asante sana Nashpai. So we are taking that. I'm seeing blast from so many people. You have written blast, Black, Eric, Jane, Magdalene, Regina, Tina, you're tuned in. Katie, you're saying you're having a blast. Mwende, thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the hardest part of being a caregiver and having a loved one, diagnosed with cancer, if you have been following, you realize that most people talk about financial constraint, that apart from the emotional stress, the spiritual nourishment that they need, the physical changes that are taking place, apart from all this, one of the things that has been a problem for families that are taking care of their loved ones is the financial bit of it. And so tonight I have on our panel a friend of ours who is Frederick Inyange, okay, who works for ICA Lion Assurance. He's a financial associate. He'll be telling us how can we prepare for those tough times ahead, and how do we prepare financially? And so I want to invite Fred to kindly take it away. Let's put our hands together like this and invite Frederick. Frederick, karibu sana.
Good evening all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello. How are you all? Hope you had a great day, even if it was a very cold day.
We are fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if you are getting me clearly. Okay, for me, I'll just tackle some issues that I thank Patrick for letting some of them. And I thank even your employer that she had a medical cover for you guys, and even offered to pay some bills for you during the counseling time. Okay, so I'll go direct to the point. There are some things that we usually advise people to have that there are normal things that prevent us from being financially burdened. Although our status changes from time to time, but there's one thing that I'll encourage most of us, everyone, or I'll demand that everyone has to have, that is NHIF. NHIF is so cheap, you can start with 500, and then there are those who pay by what cover you're really looking at. Okay. Now, the normal medical scheme from private insurances are nowadays also very cheap. There are those you pay for on credit. There are those who will ask you to do a lump sum once, or there are those who will advise you on which category or limits that can suit your pocket. Another thing that will encourage us to have is a contingent fund. This is an emergency fund that is supposed to be 6 times of your salary. You can imagine if Patrick and the wife had lost their jobs when their employer had just heard that they're going through this difficult time. What could have happened to the family resources? What could have happened to some of the assets that they had acquired before sickness came into the family? So contingent fund is one of the plans that you should have. You can start small, but make sure that every month or any day that you are having some cash, you put in, so that within a short time you have your 6 months salary in need. Okay. Another thing is nowadays we have seen that some insurance company have come up with covers for cancer. Now that there's cover for cancer whereby you can choose to be covered between 1 million to 15 million shilling. It's better for you to engage some of those insurance companies to see which cover
Uh, Fred has also told us about emergency fund, so that in case of the unfortunate, you don't lose everything. He has also mentioned about life insurance. It comes with some riders like critical illness. And lastly, there are some organizations nowadays that even have covers for things like cancer. But lastly, I want to ask Fred. Fred, what would you recommend, in this time of COVID-19, apart from just cancer, in terms of financials, what would you recommend in these times of COVID-19?
In this time of 19, I'll really recommend that people should look out for various. Sorry? MC, are you getting me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. What I really recommend during this time of COVID, I recommend that people should look out for life insurance. They play a very big role on your finances. It's just like your backbone. When your backbone is not working properly, or when your backbone is in a distress, is when the life insurance can come and help you out financially. Another thing that I insist that there are like I think 2 companies that offer cancer insurance with a minimum of let's say like around 395 Kenyan shillings. You can have a cover for 1 million. That can go a very long way for anyone of us. And then what I also really recommend is about a contingent fund or emergency fund. We should have a plan whereby every month you put something aside so that can help you during difficult time. This time of COVID has really pushed us to see the importance of having that contingent fund for those people who have lost their jobs, for those people their business have gone down. We have really looked into it that if you didn't have any plan of saving money, now you're really suffering because of lack of discipline on those sides. Yes, MC.
Asante sana, Fred, for speaking to us tonight. You have done well. Asante sana. We really, really appreciate. The many people tonight are also grateful, apart from the technical hiccup there from Fred. We have tried to just highlight those things that you talked about: NHIF, emergency fund, medical cover, cancer cover, and above all, life insurance. Just remember that when you take an insurance cover, you will be protecting yourself from losing everything in those days when things are tough. Okay, so thank you so much to our panelists. I want to. We are almost coming to at the end of the show tonight, but I want to. Before we end, I want to remind all of us that this show is part of our CSR campaign, dubbed the Boot Cancer Challenge, and you are tuned in to Candid Conversation, where we enlighten minds, inspire people, and enrich lives. And now we have made a commitment to support the hospice in this season. Our contacts are right there on the screen. Kindly follow us. Tell your friends about it. Tell your colleagues to just tune in. Those who have missed the episodes, the past episodes, we are on the 7th. So if you have missed, kindly go and tune to the YouTube, and you will find all these episodes uploaded. This one will also be uploaded by tomorrow, by end of day tomorrow, and so guys can catch up with what has been happening. We are also in this season giving towards the hospice, and we want to join all the philanthropists around the world by whatever you can give. Kindly give to the till number 750822. It will come as Outburst, and then we as Outburst will then give on your behalf to the hospice, the Gear Hospice. We are also committing to supporting the people living and fighting in this season. So thank you so much, our panelists. Mr. Patrick, I want to give you an opportunity to give us your parting shot. And as you do that, on your parting shot, can you kindly also answer this question? How did you break the news to your children? Okay, and then give us a parting shot.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Mr. Mwangi, and thanks, Fred, for the information. Maybe I can start with the breaking the news to the children. And it was not very easy. Like I said, my son was actually in school, and he didn't get to know about it until the time I went to pick him from school, and it was not easy. My daughter was actually at home because she was at the university, so at least her. I didn't break the news to her. It was the mom who actually broke the news to her. And with God's grace, actually, she took it very positively. My son, the same. I had to really talk to him, and you start with the good things like my mom, your mom is unwell, uh, and this is what she's suffering from. And that is what we are now doing. We had, because by the time I was telling him, we had already started treatment. So I had to make him understand and actually do some counseling to him, like should he notice any problem, maybe her mom looking weak and all that. I mean, she should understand it just for a short time. So but it wasn't easy though. As a parting shot, maybe what I can say is I would like to encourage all of you. And as I said earlier, actually, mostly even men who could be going through this, or ladies, or anybody who has a friend who is going through the same, or a member of the family who is going through the same. I would want to encourage you, tell you, be strong. Cancer is curable. You can see we have good news. My wife is doing very well. So feel encouraged and talk to to the people, encourage them, and give them all the support they need. The other thing is, it's always good to have a support system from family, from friends, and from colleagues and all that. And it's always good to have a support system. For example, like when my wife was sick, at times she could get 30 visitors coming at a go, especially her students. Former students would come, class of 2010, class of 2009, the current students, they would come, they would all fill the house, 30 or even more of them. And that was a good support system. And the other things is, if you're able to talk to groups, talk to them, let them feel encouraged. And I think basically what I would say, and if you are actually an employer, or your colleague is going through this kind of thing, please be as understanding as you can, or maybe you are a supervisor, be understanding. I'm not asking you to be a super employer like my wife's employer or my employer is. I'm not asking you to be super, but try the best you can do to support those people, because you can actually understand what they are really going through. Maybe, I think we need a whole day to give the whole story of all what is going through. The other thing is, you as being a caregiver, because today I'm talking as a caregiver, take care also of yourself, because you can end up draining yourself without knowing. You don't try to get support, try to get help as much as possible. Take care of yourself. Look at yourself, make sure you are okay, because you can actually drain yourself without knowing, and you'll end up maybe you may end up sick, even more sick than the person you are taking care of. So I would want to once again to say thank you so much, Mr. Mwangi and the Outburst team, for making this possible. And I hope we'll have more sessions in future. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, Patrick. Thank you so much for sharing with us your heart, your life, your sentiments. We are truly grateful. Alan is saying, great conversations. Is it possible to share the YouTube and share with your friends? Our YouTube channel is Outburst Limited. Kindly tune in. Whether this is your first or not, you can find the link. All these candid conversations right there in our Outburst link, YouTube, which is Outburst Limited. Also follow us. Sister Susan Tanui, Karibu Sana. Thank you for tuning in. Sister Susan, you're saying thanks a million, Outburst, for your generosity and love for the Gear Hospice. God bless 100-fold. And I dare say amen. SK is saying great job, Outburst, for your contribution. For your continued partnership and support to the Gear Hospice. God bless you. And there I also say amen. Thank you. Teresia is saying thank you, Outburst, for organizing such a wonderful session. We'll support the initiative. We appreciate Thank you, thank you. We are truly grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say asante sana for tuning in tonight. Faith is asking, is there a deadline of sending this contribution? You can do that anytime. Kindly just take the number. Whenever you're blessed, go out there and be a blessing. So poleni sana tonight for the technical hiccups with Fred, but Fred has also requested that if you need some financial advice, if you need to reach out to him, his number is 0722-118732. I repeat, Fred's number in case you need his advice is 0722-118732. I will also ask that the M-Pesa number is right there. Be put. We are sharing the M-Pesa number right now so that in case you want to give tonight, or you will just take it and give next time or in the course of the week. The M-Pesa till number to give to the Geo Hospice is 750822, 75822, or 750822. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night it has been. Asanteni sana for tuning in. I just want to remind you that the Candid Conversations will continue. This is Candid Conversation Season 1, where we'll have 10 episodes, and our highlight will be the Boot Cancer Challenge in October. We'll share the date as we continue. We will at least have a session where we'll have panelists, we'll have a good time together, but virtual. It will be our first virtual meeting at the Boot Cancer Challenge. The past 4 years, we have been doing this physically at the first one was at Uhuru Park. The second and third were at Arboretum. The fourth was at Kasarani. And this year, it shall come to all of us virtually in the comfort of wherever we will be. And I ask you that kindly share with a friend. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, next week, we will send you details for next week. But next week, we are ready for you. And we will be having a great panelist who will be discussing on this important issue of getting your sexy back, body image. How can I reclaim my confidence after treatment? I'll be hosting Reverend James N. Bogwa, who will be telling us how we can reclaim, you can reclaim your body image, you can get your sex back, you can be all confident after treatment and even during and throughout treatment. Kindly make sure that you tune in next week, 7 p.m. on Wednesday to 8:30. Invite a friend, kindly invite family, invite friends. This is that session, ladies and gentlemen, that this one, don't miss. Invite even your enemy, and let them be inspired, be enlightened, and be transformed. This has been your host, Mwangi Chege. Mwende is saying a great job, kudos, outburst, God richly blessed you. Thank you. And they're saying they've had a blast. Joyce saying we salute you, Patrick. Amazing job, outburst. Thank you very much. Mercy is telling us, let me see, Mercy, great conversation. Thank you. Asanteni sana. If you have had a blast, I believe that you have. Katie is saying, God bless you. Thank you so much. Without you, we would not be here tonight. But because you're here, we want to say asante sana. Give us feedback. Kindly like our social media platform, which you can get us on Outburst Limited on any of our on our social media platform. Kindly go out there, like. Tell your friends, tell family, tell everyone you know that we will be here next week, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and we will be transforming our lives yet again. This has been Candid Conversation, hosted by me, Mwangi Chege, and I want to say thank you for Masolia from Bungoma with love. God bless you. Here is where we enlighten minds, inspire people, and rich lives. See you next week, same time, same place. Adios, amigo. Take care. God bless you. Remember to keep distance, wear your mask, and keep safe, keep healthy. Let's meet here next week. Thank you very much. God bless you. Asante sana. Cheers.
To feel me.